Alright, let's dive straight into the action, folks. This is the full fight breakdown of DAKOTA DICHEVA versus SUMIKO INBA, and we're keeping it real. No nonsense, just pure MMA analysis. Picture this, two of the most exciting prospects in women's MMA stepping into the cage, ready to throw down. DAKOTA DICHEVA, the striking sensation from the UK, is coming in with an undefeated 10-0 record. Her Muay Thai background making her a nightmare on the feet. Then you've got SUMIKO INBA, Hawaii's grappling wizard, sitting at 7-1. With a ground game that's locked up opponents left and right. This fight's got all the makings of a classic striking versus grappling, youth versus experience, and of fighters hungry to climb the ranks. Let's break it down moment by moment. As the cage door locks and the referee signals the start, the bell rings for round one, and right off the bat, DICHEVA's moving like a panther. Her footwork is crisp, circling to her left, keeping that lead leg ready to fire. She's got a 3-inch reach advantage, and she's using it, popping out jabs to gauge the distance. INBA, though, isn't biting. She's calm, hands high, bobbing her head, looking for an opening to close the gap. DICHEVA throws a low kick, testing INBA's lead leg, and it lands with a sharp crack. INBA eats it but doesn't flinch. She's got her eyes locked on DICHEVA, clearly planning to get this fight to the mat. DICHEVA's not making it easy, though. She's keeping the center of the cage, forcing INBA to chase her. Another jab from DICHEVA snaps INBA's head back, followed by a quick teep to the body that pushes INBA off balance. You can see DICHEVA's confidence growing. She's in her element, picking her shots. INBA's not here to play punching bag, though. About a minute in, she times one of DICHEVA's jabs and ducks under, shooting for a double leg takedown. The crowd roars as she wraps her arms around DICHEVA's hips, driving her toward the cage. DICHEVA's sprawl is textbook. She drops her hips, gets her legs back, and grabs a front headlock to stop INBA's momentum. INBA's pushing hard, trying to lift DICHEVA's legs, but DICHEVA's balance is solid. She lands a short knee to INBA's chest. Not enough to do real damage, but enough to send a message. You're not getting me down that easy. INBA switches to a single leg, wrapping DICHEVA's left leg. But DICHEVA's cage awareness kicks in. She presses her back against the fence, using it for leverage, and starts raining down short elbows to INBA's shoulder. The referees watching closely, making sure there's no stalling, but DICHEVA's staying active. After about 30 seconds of grinding against the cage, INBA lets go of the takedown attempt and steps back. DICHEVA doesn't hesitate. She fires a 1-2 combo, catching INBA with a glancing right hand. INBA's tough as nails, though, and she fires back with a looping left hook that just misses. The pace is picking up now, and DICHEVA's starting to find her rhythm. She throws a head kick, and while INBA blocks it, you can tell the power surprised her. DICHEVA follows with a vicious inside leg kick that lands with a thud, leaving a red mark on INBA's thigh. INBA's movement is slowing just a touch. You can see her wincing as she shifts her weight. DICHEVA smells blood and doubles down, throwing another leg kick followed by a straight right that snaps INBA's head back. The crowd's buzzing, and DICHEVA's corner is shouting for her to keep the pressure on. But INBA's no rookie. She baits DICHEVA into overcommitting on a combination, ducking under a high kick and closing the distance again. This time, she gets a body lock and trips DICHEVA to the mat, landing in half guard. The gym erupts. INBA's in her world now. She's postured up, dropping short punches to DICHEVA's ribs while trying to pass to full mount. DICHEVA's hips are active, though she's shrimping, trying to create space to get back to guard. INBA's heavy on top, using her shoulder to smother DICHEVA's face. A classic grappling move to disrupt breathing and focus. DICHEVA manages to get a butterfly guard, using her feet to elevate INBA and prevent her from posturing up for bigger shots. The clock's ticking down in round one, and INBA's looking to make a statement. She passes to side control in the final seconds, landing a couple of knees to the body before the bell rings. What a round! DICHEVA dominated the striking, but INBA showed she can hang and got the fight where she wanted it. Round 2 starts, and you can see both fighters adjusting. DICHEVA's corner must have told her to watch for takedowns because she's keeping her stance lower, ready to sprawl. INBA, meanwhile, looks determined to get back to the ground. She fakes a jab and shoots again. But DICHEVA's ready this time. She stuffs the takedown and spins INBA against the cage. Now it's DICHEVA's turn to grind. She's landing short knees to INBA's thighs, sapping her energy. INBA's trying to reverse position, but DICHEVA's got a strong underhook, keeping her pinned. The referee calls for action, and DICHEVA obliges, stepping back and throwing a vicious elbow that catches INBA on the cheek. INBA's stunned for a split second, and DICHEVA pounces, landing a 3-punch combo that forces INBA to cover up. INBA's not out of it though. She catches one of DICHEVA's kicks and uses it to drive her back to the cage again. This time, she gets a trip takedown, landing in DICHEVA's full guard. INBA's working hard to posture up, throwing punches to keep DICHEVA defensive. DICHEVA's looking for a sweep, but INBA's base is rock solid. She passes to half guard again, and you can see DICHEVA's frustration. She's trying to explode out, but INBA's control is suffocating. INBA starts working for a kimura, trapping DICHEVA's arm, but DICHEVA's wise to it. She bridges her hips and rolls, getting back to full guard. The crowd's loving this back and forth. INBA's still on top, but DICHEVA's staying dangerous, throwing up a triangle attempt that forces INBA to defend. INBA breaks free and stands up, letting DICHEVA back to her feet with about a minute left in the round. Back on the feet, DICHEVA's eyes light up. She throws a head kick that INBA barely blocks, followed by a crisp 1-2 that lands clean. INBA's starting to show some damage. A small cut above her eye is trickling blood. DICHEVA smells the finish and presses forward, throwing a flurry of punches. INBA covers up, but a body shot slips through, making her wince. Just as DICHEVA looks like she's about to pour it on, INBA ducks under and clinches, slowing the pace. They trade knees in the clinch until the bell rings. Another close round. DICHEVA's striking is racking up points, but INBA's grappling is keeping her in the fight. Round 3, the final frame, and both fighters know it's crunch time. DICHEVA comes out aggressive, throwing a spinning back kick that catches INBA in the midsection. INBA's breathing heavy now, and DICHEVA's targeting that body, knowing it'll slow her down. INBA tries to shoot again, but DICHEVA's sprawl is on point. She stuffs it and lands a brutal uppercut as INBA stands up. INBA's rocked, stumbling back, and DICHEVA swarms. A left hook lands flush, and INBA's legs wobble. The crowd's screaming for a finish, but INBA's heart is unreal. She clinches to survive, wrapping DICHEVA up against the cage. DICHEVA's not letting up, though. She breaks the clinch and throws a head kick that grazes INBA's temple. INBA's still in it, firing back with a desperate overhand right that clips DICHEVA's jaw. DICHEVA shakes it off and keeps coming, landing a vicious leg kick that nearly buckles INBA's lead leg. With 2 minutes left, INBA knows she needs something big. She fakes a shot, gets DICHEVA to drop her hands, and lands a clean left hook. DICHEVA's stunned for a moment, and INBA capitalizes, shooting for a single leg takedown. This time, she gets it, dragging DICHEVA to the mat and landing in side control. INBA's working overtime now, dropping elbows and looking for a finish. DICHEVA's defending well, but she's stuck under INBA's pressure. INBA tries to mount, but DICHEVA scrambles, getting back to half guard. The clock's ticking down and INBA's pouring on the ground and pound, trying to sway the judges. DICHEVA's not done, though. She throws up an armbar attempt in the final 30 seconds, nearly catching INBA. INBA escapes and keeps top position until the bell. What a war. Both fighters collapse to the mat, exhausted but proud. The crowd's on its feet as we wait for the judge's decision. DICHEVA's striking was surgical, landing clean shots and doing visible damage. INBA's grappling was relentless, with multiple takedowns and control time. This one's going to be tight. The announcer grabs the mic, and the scores are in 29-28, 28-29, 29-28 for DAKOTA DICHEVA. Ending. A vicious leg kick that nearly buckles INBA's lead leg. With 2 minutes left, INBA knows she needs something big. She fakes a shot, gets DICHEVA to drop her hands, and lands a clean left hook. DICHEVA's stunned for a moment, And INBA capitalizes, shooting for a single leg takedown. This time, she gets it, dragging DICHEVA to the mat and landing in side control. INBA's working overtime now, dropping elbows and looking for a finish. DICHEVA's defending well, but she's stuck under INBA's pressure. INBA tries to mount, but DICHEVA scrambles. Getting back to half guard, the clock's ticking down and INBA's pouring on the ground and pound, trying to sway the judges. DICHEVA's not done, though she throws up an armbar attempt in the final 30 seconds, nearly catching INBA. INBA escapes and keeps top position until the bell. What a war. Both fighters collapse to the mat, exhausted but proud. The crowd's on its feet as we wait for the judge's decision. DICHEVA's striking was surgical, landing clean shots and doing visible damage. INBA's grappling was relentless, with multiple takedowns and control time. This one's going to be tight. The announcer grabs the mic, and the scores are in 29-28, 28-29, 29-28 for DAKOTA DICHEVA. She takes the split decision, but let's be real, INBA pushed her to the limit. Both fighters showed why they're the future of this division. DICHEVA's precision and power carried the day, but INBA's heart and grappling made it a fight to remember as the fighters embrace in the cage. You can see the mutual respect. DICHEVA raises INBA's hand, a class act, and the crowd roars in appreciation. This fight was everything MMA's about: skill, heart, and strategy colliding in a battle neither fighter will forget. If you're watching this, you know you just saw something special. DICHEVA moves to 11-0, cementing her spot as a top contender. While INBA's stock doesn't drop one bit, she's a problem for anyone in the division. Let's talk about what's next for DICHEVA. This win could set up a title shot or a clash with another top 5 fighter. Her striking is world-class, but she showed she can handle herself in the grappling department too. INBA, meanwhile, will be back stronger. Her ability to hang with a striker like DICHEVA proves she's got the tools to compete at the highest level. A rematch down the line. Don't be surprised if these two cross paths again. That's the breakdown, folks. If you loved this fight as much as I did, drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think deserved the nod? What's next for these two warriors? Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. We're keeping it real, always, and we'll see you in the next one.